Alright, so Pokemon Gold and Silver. Well, this is interesting. I've never talked about Pokemon before. This is a very interesting start. But that's not all. I'm not just starting off with Pokemon now. I've got a special guest with me who will probably be a mainstay from here on out. Maybe it's up to him. But I'd like to welcome you all, Coma or Burner, whichever name you prefer.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Coma of Flaming Panda Productions, also known as Burner. I also run a podcast show called The Swirlycast, if you're all interested. And yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, yeah. So today we're here to talk about gold and silver. Now, again, this is a very interesting topic for me because I don't think I've ever really spoke about Pokemon in any of the previous podcast episodes. This is like my very first time ever talking about Pokemon, I think. I'm pretty sure I haven't spoke about Pokemon up until this point. All of my episodes have been about Sonic, Minecraft, Smash, Team Fortress 2, basically anything but Pokemon. Pokemon's always been left out. Even Mega Man and Mario have been included, but the only one that's been left out is Pokemon. Oh, and Kirby too, but that's for another episode. But yeah, we're finally here. We're talking about Pokemon, but I'm starting off with Gold, Silver, and Crystal, or as well as HeartGold and Soulsilver, because I played more of HeartGold and Soulsilver than the original games. Although I wouldn't mind going back and playing the original 3 titles. But anyways, regarding my experiences with Gold, Silver, and Crystal, or HeartGold and Soulsilver, I've had a lot of fond memories of it. It has its ups and downs, honestly, and I wouldn't mind, bringing all those up. I wouldn't mind discussing what, all the good and bad things there are about Gold, Silver, and Crystal, as well as their remakes. But there probably aren't as many downsides because, I played more so the remakes than the originals, so. Oh boy, where do I even begin? When I started playing Gold, Silver, and Crystal, or specifically Silver, I was really young, and I don't think I even made it that far. I don't have very good memories of it. All I remember is that I played it for a certain period of time and then forgot about it. Either that or I played a little bit of it after my brother gave it to me, and that was it. I don't even know where that original silver cartridge went. I don't know where we put it. I don't know what happened to it. It's just gone.
Hopefully, you guys can find it someday.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is that that's how I got into Pokemon. That was one of my first games, as well as like Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. But that'll be saved for another time. But then, for Christmas, at some point, I think it was around 2007-ish to 10, maybe. No, actually no. 2007 and 8 were like years before HeartGold and Soulsilver released. Those came out in 2010. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, so either December of 2010 or actually no, yeah, it had to have been 2010 because that's the year when HeartGold and Soulsilver dropped, at least in America, anyways. I'm not sure when it released in Japan. I'm sure it's 2009 for them. At least I think. I'm not entirely certain on the release dates, but I know games for Pokemon games usually release a year in Japan before we get them over here in the US.
That was until X and Y, but again, a topic for another time.
Yeah. So I remember getting HeartGold specifically for Christmas, and I remember playing it up until a certain point, stopped playing, lost the data for it, started up a new save, got up to a certain point, erased the save data, and started again. Either that, or the second time around, I don't think I erased the save data. In fact, I think I kept it. And then I eventually beat the game, the main game. I've still yet to beat the post game, but I've beaten the main game. And the reason why I haven't beaten the post game yet is because I'm actually currently on a shiny hunt for a shiny Snorlax. But again, that's not really a topic for, this podcast here. But anyways, yeah, so my experiences with HeartGold specifically were pretty good. I remember having a lot of fun with it. I had some issues here and there with it. I remember Whitney, I think her name was, the second gym leader, right?
Um,
Third? I think it was third. Or
the normal
fourth.
type gym leader?
Her. Yeah.
Whitney, yeah.
She was a pain. I hated fighting her. Her milk tank was the worst thing I went up against, and I think everyone, when it comes to this podcast, can relate to me when it comes to this, because, like, when you go up against that milk tank, it's literally the worst thing that you could ever possibly imagine. It's the one thing that people would struggle with the most.
It's childhood trauma, for me, right there.
Absolutely. I honestly, I hate that thing. But eventually I pulled through and I beat it with some luck. Uh, you know, uh, I don't think I had like the right team optimized for it, and I don't think I knew the weakness of normal type Pokemon at the time. I didn't know fighting type Pokemon were strong against normal type Pokemon, so I was confused. So I remember I used my Pidgeotto at the time, Vendetta, I think his name was. I call him Vendetta because it was a reference to that movie V, if anyone's seen that. But anyways, back on topic. Um, I was going up against Whitney, and it sucked. Like it was the worst thing out of. It was honestly the worst thing I ever went through in HeartGold and Soulsilver. Aside from that, it was smooth sailing from there. Afterwards, well, actually, take that back. I had trouble with Claire, and I think I forgot the fighting type gym leader's name. But I had trouble with him too in some cases, if I recall.
Oh, I just remembered his name. His name is Chuck.
Oh, Chuck, right. Actually, no, wait, I don't think I had trouble with Chuck. I think Chuck was alright. I might have No, yeah, I remember now. I think I actually breezed past him. Chuck wasn't that hard. But Claire and yeah, Claire and Whitney were like the two worst gym leaders I remember going up against. Oh, and maybe Jasmine too. Jasmine wasn't fun to go up against as well. I remember having to grind up for Jasmine. Now, you'd think, oh, Jasmine's a steel type gym leader. I'm sure if you use fire type Pokemon, it would be easier, right? Yeah, but you'd have to grind. You have to like grind a lot before fighting her, and it's really, really time consuming and boring to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if anyone would be willing to put up with it. But if you have the time, patience, then sure, by all means, go ahead. But my point being is that like between Whitney, Jasmine, and um, Whitney, Jasmine, and I already forgot her name. I said it earlier.
Claire.
Yeah, Claire. Yeah, Whitney, Jasmine, and Claire. Between the three, I'd say actually no. I'd say Whitney was the hardest. Honestly, I'd say Whitney was the one that gave me the most challenge, ironically enough. And this is like the third or fourth gym leader. That's so that is so early on in the game. I don't know why.
it's definitely a slap to the people who were just kind of breezing by both Bugsy and Faulkner.
Oh yeah, Faulkner was not a challenge at all. Faulkner was like everyone. Faulkner was laughably easy.
Unless he had Chikorita.
Oh yeah, if you picked Chikorita, that would have been the worst thing because like Chikorita, I think from what I remember, or to my knowledge, is like the worst starter throughout the entirety of the game.
Made me press F in the chat for all those kids who picked Chikorita back in the day.
Usually, if you were to pick a starter in HeartGold and Soulsilver or Gold, Silver, and Crystal, kids would most likely pick either Cyndaquil or Totodile. It was one of those two. Meanwhile, Chikorita was usually left in the dust. That's not to say that there aren't any people that pick Chikorita. I'm sure there are. It's just they'd most likely be having a harder time if they pick Chikorita, especially if you're going up against Faulkner. Because
Yeah.
Faulkner's a flying type gym leader, and flying is strong against grass, so it's a terrible kind of scenario to go through.
I'm not even sure that you have access to rock types before that early on in the game, so you wouldn't have Geodude in order to at least try and
No,
make the gym leader a whole lot easier.
no, actually, I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure there's a
Huh.
cave that you run into very early on,
Well,
if I recall.
I guess Fulgner isn't as bad with What am I saying? We have access to rock types. They're strong against both bug types and flying types. So
Yeah,
if you chose Chikorita, chances are you also raised the Geodude.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like a tiny cave that you'll run into. I'm trying to go off of memory here as well.
Yeah, same here.
That and you'll probably get like a Togepi, I think, from the very beginning as well. You get a Togepi just before you hit the first gym leader.
Yeah.
Which evolves into Togetic and eventually Togekiss.
Not in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, mind you, but in HeartGold, Soul Silver.
Oh yeah, HeartGold and Soulsilver, but yeah, because Gold, Silver, and Crystal they didn't have Togekiss at the time. Togekiss wasn't introduced until Gen 4, and honestly, I just going off topic just a little bit, just a hair, but I'm gonna say this right now. They made a great decision, like bringing making Togekiss a thing. Because if Togekiss didn't exist, it'd be a lot harder. I don't think anyone would have wanted to get anywhere near Togepi, like at all.
Yeah, there pretty much wouldn't be any point of raising a Togepi unless you wanted to challenge yourself with a Togetic on your team.
Yeah, but anyways, so yeah, that's those are like all the bad things that we experienced as people that played Gold, Silver, and Crystal and HeartGold and Soulsilver.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about like all the good stuff, like the juicy stuff that we had fun with. In actually, I'm going to talk about something that happened more recently, and this is something you can totally do in the excuse me, original too. By the way, I recently, well, not too recently, but a while back, I hunted for a shiny HOOO, and I managed to get my hands on it, and it was hands down the best experience for me. It was the coolest thing. Like, getting a shiny HOOO that quick. It took me the time, it took me, how long? Maybe like a day or two before I finally got it. No, I think it took me like 3 or 4 days actually. And after those 4 days of soft resetting, I got it. I caught it, and I gave it a nickname, and that was that. It was awesome.
Yeah. You know,
That.
shinies. Oh, if I may to derail just a little bit,
Oh no, go on.
shiny Pokemon were also introduced in this generation, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
all for it because Because originally, shiny Pokemon weren't able to be a thing since, if you remember, the Game Boy was only a disgusting green and sometimes gray. But with the Game Boy Color, we also got shiny Pokemon. And
Yeah,
this introduced shiny hunting into the mix. And, there are people who go out of their way to deliberately hunt for a particular shiny. And I gotta say that I'm guilty of this too, because I'm currently shiny hunting some things in Sword and Shield, but I'm gonna probably talk about that in a future episode.
yeah. It's a good, yeah. I guess that isn't too far off topic considering the fact that they introduced that in the second generation. You're right. So,
I think so.
yeah, they introduced shiny hunting. They introduced genders, I think.
I think that was in Crystal. Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
was
it
in
might have been.
Crystal.
Yeah,
Wait,
they
no,
introduced shiny.
no, I think it was in Gold, Silver, and Crystal because breeding was also introduced in that gen too. So
Yeah. So genders, shiny hunting. I think they also added Pokeball crafting too. That's a thing as well.
Kurt's balls suck.
Do they?
I was making a reference, but but a majority of Kurt's balls don't are kind of bleh. Only a few of them actually work as intended, like the Lure Ball.
I I know there's some like really good balls, like the heavy ball. That one's good.
Yeah, the Heavy Ball is definitely something that is very good, especially in the remake, since you're catching a lot of legendary Pokemon in that game.
Yeah, there's the heavy ball. Actually, hold on. What were they again?
We got Heavy Ball, Fast
Oh,
Ball.
level ball, friend ball, lure ball, moon ball, heavy ball, fast ball, and love ball. Ah, that's right. Okay. So the
Aside from
moon.
like the fastball for roaming legendary Pokemon for the dog trio, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, or I guess just Raikou and Entei, because
Hmm.
Suicune Crystal version. Ooh. Heavy Ball for legendary Pokemon, more specifically for the remake, and the Lure Ball in case you're going to be shiny hunting for fish. A lot of
Yeah.
Kurt's balls aren't exactly all that helpful. Love Ball is useful for catching Pokemon of a different gender. Moon Balls for Pokemon with a Moonstone, and the what was the other one?
Um. Friend ball, level ball, or friend
Level
ball?
Ball. Level Ball is actually a good one because it actually if your Pokemon is it's kind of like a nest ball, but more classic as it works. If your Pokemon is a higher level than the catching thing, they need an increased capture point. Level Ball's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember. I remember using the fastball. Fastball's really good.
Yeah,
Fastball's really good. Heavy ball's really good. Moonball, I think is. I never used the moonball.
it's
I'm
really
not
only
sure about the
useful
lure
for
ball.
catching it's really only
Pokemon with moonstones.
yeah for Pokemon like Jigglypuff and the Nido duo.
Oh, okay. Huh. And then I don't think I've used friend ball and love ball either.
Yeah, I never found a use for them.
So it's basically, I'd say, uh, half the balls are useful, or a quarter.
It's better than nothing, so
It seems like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'd say about half the balls are useful from what I'm
better than nothing,
seeing
I guess.
or hearing. Yeah, yeah, half. The half. Yeah, half of the balls being useful is better than the majority. The majority or all the balls not being useful.
Yeah,
So that's good.
we kind of just derailed and not talking about Pokeballs, but it looks like we're starting
Yeah.
to run out of time here.
Oh, we are. Wow. I didn't know. Yikes. Well, for those who actually enjoyed watching the watching, tuning into the Saloon podcast, with our new special guest or mainstay, I suppose. Now,
Sure, let's go with that.
our new mainstay, uh, you know, friend. I don't know what term to use here. Our new, our new mainstay co-host.
Hey
Uh,
now.
feel free to, you know, you know, uh, wait and, again, tune in till next time. See ya.
Bye, everybody.